Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with
Yvonne.
It's a lot of waving.
Brandon.
Sam.
Oh, I like that.
Finger guns, okay. Ka-chow.
Oh, wait.
Ka-cha.
Wait, what was a pinky doing? It was like finger gun.
You lead with the pinky.
Then
No,
fake
you were doing
Spider-Man.
like Spiderman.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
did like a.
That's what I was trying to do.
But then
I
you're
was
like
trying to do this.
the pinky just decided it wanted to join in.
No,
The
Sam,
first
you
time.
executed. It was Brandon that did this.
No,
Oh, no, so it was him who was wrong,
He
right?
was
So
like-
I'm killing this. Look at this.
No. At first, watch. No, at first he was like.
No,
That's what he was doing.
That's
So I was like, oh, were you doing like a lazy Spider-Man?
No,
So I was like, I
never
will
did
be
that.
Spider-Man.
That's a lie.
No, play back. You know, you were
Maddie, don't play it.
like, because he knows I'm right.
Okay, yeah, then I believe Brandon.
Biased.
So
She-
biased. This is what
okay,
the whole
wait.
podcast is.
Here,
It's just
hold on.
them ganging up on me because they're in love and a couple. It's crazy.
Here's
What's
why.
the quotes for?
I don't know. Jeez.
Okay, here's why I believe Brandon. Because when he said play it back, you said don't play it back.
Yeah, I did say that.
Which means there's probably evidence on there
There is
as to what
evidence.
Brandon is pertaining
There's
to.
absolutely
So I'm
is
not
evidence.
biased because I wasn't saying anything. I was making fun of Brandon. I was making fun of his hands moments ago.
But
He was
I'm
doing
telling
this.
you, we had a moment there where we were on the same side. Don't ruin it by playing it back of the thing that I actually did do what he said. You know? We were together.
No, we're
They're
together.
Matt, you know what we haven't done for a long time?
What?
We haven't set our comfort level in like
I know. I
months.
noticed that. I thought we just
I
dropped
was
it.
watching podcasts. I'm like, I remember we used to do this and we don't do it no more.
I mean, I guess. Do you want to do it for the heck of it?
Yvonne's here. Let's do it. Let's make it. Let's go
So,
back to old
on a
times.
level of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you right now?
A good 8.
8. Okay, wow, that's
Oh,
good.
that's
I'd say I'm an 8 as well.
Yeah.
Are you an 8 though?
I wasn't an 8 20 minutes ago, but because Yvonne is here, I'm an 8.
I'm special.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was doing the Trey Rags theme song because the way he just said it was so like.
Trey
Oh yeah,
Rags.
that was. Are you an 8?
Who said you were an 8? Who said you
I
were a
don't know if
comfort level
Yvonne's
8?
an 8 because she's still wearing her coat.
It's a
That's
part of the
cozy,
outfit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 6 to me if you're still wearing her coat.
What?
That means you're like.
It's like a 6. You're not very comfortable.
A 6.
Oh,
6,
I'm
you're
fine.
not very comfortable?
Okay.
I'm chilling.
Okay. Just want
Yeah.
to make sure our guests are above a 7. That's our goal.
Yeah, I said I was an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, she said she was an 8.
Okay. I'm just being a good host. That's all.
Right,
I'm
and I'm being a good host too by defending Yvonne.
I'm being
Are
a
you
hor-
calling her a 6
I'm
because
being
of
a
the
horrible co-host because I'm just watching everything go down and I don't have anything to say about it.
Well,
What's-
he's wearing a hat, so.
Yeah.
And
Is
we're
he
indoors.
No, that's my cousin.
coat? So what's your comfort level, cousin?
You could have said cuz that would have been cool. I'm like a 7. There's like a lot of tension in the room, you know. So we're just chilling.
I'm not the one bringing it. It's...
I'm a 4. I'm
Yeah.
very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, it's you.
I'm pretty uncomfortable right now. But I do like the set that we're in. This is nice. This is a nice
new.
new set.
Brandon, I like what you did with the place.
It looks
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank
It looks
Thank you.
amazing.
It looks like dreamy.
Oh.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I encanto it. That's not what encanto
You
means.
can't do that. Because there's that famous song, and the world meets your eye like a big pizza pie.
That's
Amore.
amore.
That's the song I was
Yes.
talking about, and I couldn't remember it. One
What
day
are
we
you
were
talking
talking
about?
about. We were talking about. I was like, Sam, there's a song you did, and you kept going like this. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and you just did it.
Oh. I
Yeah,
don't
that
remember
was the
this
song.
Oh.
Speaking of amore, Uber. You use it? Anybody?
I want a more of that.
Amore, that a
Yeah,
transition.
more, I love it. That was a more
was a real
good
good
transition.
Brandon agrees.
He's dead. You
So
killed
good.
Brandon.
So you use Uber, Brandon, or
Yeah.
I'm a Lyft guy.
I've used
you're a Lyft
Uber.
guy? Okay.
Yeah,
I've
I
used
just
all-
use Lyft to get here.
All
Really?
two,
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
that's gonna be a good podcast.
Okay.
Someone's in the field
Yes.
doing research.
An agent.
Tell us about your Lyft ride over here. Was it
Yeah.
a pleasant experience?
It was a white lady with African braids.
Oh.
I
Very specific. Very specific.
was like, the first thing I saw when I entered the car, I was like,
You said, and I'm gonna wait for the next Uber. Thank you so much.
and I text my sister, this Uber lady is white and has African braids.
Did she talk to you? Did you have a conversation?
Yeah, she works at a haircut place called
Anything would be better than sports clips, I guess.
anything's better than sports
Yeah,
clips.
sports clips out here ruining lives.
Yeah.
What about a white woman with African braids? Is that better than sports clips? She said, okay, wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
What did your sister say?
She
Were
just
you guys just clowning her the whole time, or what?
She just sent this one emoji I can't.
Oh,
think
yeah.
of. Yeah.
But there's no
So-
picture. There's no photographic evidence of this.
No, because her car was dark. I would have needed to use
You just see a flash.
On the
I'm
way
just
out.
taking selfies back here.
Yeah, it's on you, but
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to flip the
Oh,
front camera.
sorry.
My bad. I'm sorry. Did I blind you?
Yeah.
How would you rate the drive?
She was a little speedy, but maybe like a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Oh,
Wow.
dang.
Oh, okay,
Well,
maybe
what-
should I say 7?
Was it?
Oh.
Why
Why
you
why
double
bring it
back?
up?
Yeah,
Because he
we
said
wouldn't
OJ.
know. I'm like, this doesn't seem good. I wouldn't want to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a 6. Like, 6 is like, you were like a step away from being garbage.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll say a 7.
Well, I guess if 5 is average.
Yeah.
But when I hear 5 out of 10, I don't think average. I think that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
But I guess technically it is average.
For some reason, I think 7 is average.
Yeah, I do think that too.
I feel like a
7
2
is-
out of 10. Like they give their own runs. Like they're supposed to take you to a destination, but like they stop by like they baby mama house or something. You know what I mean? And then they
That's
like
a 5.
no, that's like a 2.
Oh,
Have
that's
you
a
had
2.
that happen?
Huh?
That's just so specific.
Yeah, it was
Have you
really
had that
specific.
It was a very specific story.
I mean, you know, stuff happens. Definitely a 2 out of 10 experience, I would say so. But and then like a 5 is like they got you there, but like for some odd reason you're like 10 minutes late than when you were supposed to be there. But like they got you there, they didn't do any external stops or anything. And then 7 is like they got you there on time, but there's just some small inconvenience, like the car kind of smelled weird, or like the dude was just like not talkative, or just very bad with customer service. I feel like
They're
that's, like, a
not
7.
talkative?
Yeah.
That's a 10 out of 10. for
No,
me.
no, like to the point where you kind of feel uncomfortable not talking.
I don't want to say a word to you. That's the 10 out of 10. If I get in the car and they say, they don't even say hi, they just go like, and then we drive there in
But they
complete
don't even give you
silence. And then I get out of the car, I'm like, that was the best ride I ever had.
They don't even give you the head nod though. They don't even acknowledge that you're in there.
That's cool.
And then,
I
you're
don't-
okay
I
with
don't
that?
need
No, if
anything.
anything, like you open the door and they're like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
They call the police as they're like driving you. It's like a live
They're completely
reenactment.
in fear. They're like, oh my, this guy just got in my car.
They had a door remote. Hey, come on in.
Who are you?
And then he gets out and he's like, "I hope you enjoyed your time.
Yeah, and I'm like, that was fun.
You can find me as Jim Robbins actor on Instagram. If you ever need anybody."
That would be
It's
actually
showbiz.
hilarious.
You gotta throw in
event.
the,
Not
don't
show
forget
art.
to tip.
Right. Yeah. Don't forget to
Don't forget
tip
to
your
tip.
local artists. Okay, so you ready to get to the first story?
Yes.
Yes.
16 minutes in.
Am I the asshole for leaving in an Uber after my engagement party?
No.
No.
Nah.
Okay. My fiance and I got engaged a week ago. It was an absolute disaster. I never wanted a party, but my fiance's mom insisted and wanted to have the engagement party at a restaurant that is expensive to me, and made my fiance pull money out of his savings account to buy a house just so she could show herself off to her family. She picked the restaurant of her choice, invited her whole family while I was only allowed to invite my mom and dad. She didn't even order meals until later because she was arguing about how her favorites were on the menu. She lied to my parents about food and said in her invitation, "Join us in celebrating Jake and Sarah's engagement with desserts and champagne only." She said no kids, but brought sister-in-law's kids with her. She sat in the middle next to my fiance, and they were both having a toast without me. I was feeling so uncomfortable and super pissed that I couldn't even hide it. My parents were the first to leave. They were upset. Couldn't blame them. It was awful. We were about to leave, and my mother-in-law wanted to give us a ride home because brother-in-law left without his cousin. And my fiance said, sure. Next thing I knew, she got into the passenger seat. Sister-in-law tagged along and stuffed in her kids in the back where I was supposed to sit. I found this so damn inappropriate and humiliating, I asked my husband if he was serious. I told him I belonged in the passenger seat, but mother-in-law said I was being disrespectful and refused to sit in the back and threw some comments at me. I lost it, literally called an Uber, told them to go. My fiance lashed out and called me crazy, told me to get into the car because I was embarrassing him. We yelled at each other. He refused to leave. I got into my Uber and they watched and went to my parents. I cried my eyes out and refused to answer my phone. To spare myself the shaming, it was awful, so awful that I regret not leaving earlier. I hate all of them. They're treating me like trash and I've had it. I'm 24 and my fiance is 27. Edit to clarify that 1, she took some of our savings for a new house and spent it on the party, and 2, she sat in the passenger seat and wanted me to sit in the back. My fiance took her side and said that I was embarrassing him.
Wait, who is she again? Who is she?
The mother-in-law.
The mother-in-law. Okay. I was getting confused. I was like, who is who in this?
Oh.
They were saying husband and wife
Wife
and
and
fiance.
fiance.
Okay. So the mother-in-law was like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think, from hearing that, I don't think they're the asshole. I think the fiance who made the day all about them without considering their opinion was in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna say.
I'd say the mom was the asshole on this one. She made it all about herself. And taking the savings from somebody else's account.
That's why I got this face.
Ooh.
How do you?
That's
I mean,
theft.
but
How do you justify that?
like the future mother-in-law's the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the mother-in-law would have access to it unless the daughter,
Or the son.
allowed her to.
That's true. But just thinking about like all the things that she was naming off of, like how it was the mother-in-law's restaurant of choice, her whole family was allowed, but the OP, the original poster, they were only allowed to invite their mom and dad. No kids, but she brought her daughter's kids.
Yeah.
So just all this stuff where she kind of was making it about herself and probably her son too.
For sure.
And he seemed like he was allowing it, but yeah.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I'm like, how did it get so far without the poster saying, like, standing up more for themselves? Because you would have had to see that your money was out of your savings account. I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like possibly know more about who was invited. Or why not just invite your whole own family? Like more of your family that you want to be there if you really want them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can't keep people out of Chuck E. Cheese. It's like an open restaurant, so anyone can come in if they want to.
What do you think were her favorites at Chuck E. Cheese that weren't on the menu anymore?
Definitely the cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza?
The
She
cheese-
seems like such a square.
Low key. It's
The
good.
hit, yeah, for sure. It's-
Okay. Chuck E. Cheese pizza is good.
How do you know that?
Huh?
When was the last
I
time you
didn't
were at
say.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Probably 2017.
Oh.
The fact that you still have the taste of that pizza in your head is kind of crazy.
Yeah, 2017 seems like a little too long. I feel like you're lying.
I went to a kid's birthday party.
You went yesterday, didn't you?
I did go yesterday.
But nah,
I had some yesterday.
that mother-in-law is different.
Yeah.
But I think the worst part is like she's being defended.
Right.
It's like he's I mean, it's one scenario. We could be reading into it, but it seems like he puts his mother before his spouse. And pull out savings to go to a restaurant?
No,
Like
to
from
get a down payment on a house.
Wait, so the
Wait,
mother-in-law's
what?
house? They
No.
bought a house for the mother or bought
No,
a house for them?
mother-in-law allegedly pulled out savings from OP,
The couples.
the couple's savings account
Yeah.
to put down on a new house that she wanted to show off to her friends. So like this is a house I believe like would be like deemable to her standards of like, look what my son got. Maybe taking a bigger chunk out. I don't know. Let me read
Wait,
it
put
again.
a down payment just to show it off to
Off?
them? Like they're not gonna.
The mom's in the wrong.
That's crazy if that's what she did.
Made my fiance pull money out of his savings account to buy a house just so she could show herself off to her family. Maybe it was her a house, but he doesn't say her a house. It just says buy a house. She edited to clarify she took some of our savings for a new house and spent it on the party too. Oh, wow. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
I didn't even really realize that.
Well,
Yeah, because that's what I thought. She
Yeah.
would spend it on the party.
I'm less mad at the mom. I'm more mad at the
The
fiance.
son?
Like none of this would happen if he didn't say yes. You can do any of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
You know those scenarios where like people are like the moms are in love with their sons kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this
Smothered.
is this a scenario?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a show exactly like that that just talks about that called Smothered on TLC. Where it's like this exact scenario of like the mom and the daughter-in-law clashing constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or romantic.
There's like people on that show where they like showered together, the moms and the mom and daughter. There's one where the mom and daughter give each other like Brazilian waxes.
You can't get Brazilian waxes together?
No, they do it to each other.
Oh, they do it to each other.
Hey mom, can you wax me again? And mom's like, sure. Can you wax my butthole?
Isn't that fine? Like,
Mom's just like spread
aren't
eagle.
moms and daughters relatively naked in front of each other at
Well,
certain points? I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm asking y'all. Have y'all
No.
ever been naked in front of your mom?
when I was
As
a
a
little
kid.
kid.
As an adult, though.
No.
No. What is the
He's like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
I think he's.
I'm just curious because I'm like, I feel like some mothers and daughters have those relationships where they're like, not like they're like naked all the time, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm changing my shirt in front of my mom.
There's been a few times where my mom has come into my room and I'm like changing my like shirt and like I don't have like a bra on, but I'm like, Mom, get out. And she's like,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm like, Mom, get out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
At a certain point, it's
she's
just
like, I'm not
weird.
looking, and I'm like, I know you're not looking, but I'm still
Naked.
partially naked right now. And she's like, I need to talk to you about the mail, and I'm like, okay.
What was the
This
phrase?
happened today. This whole conversation.
It was last
this
week,
is
actually.
very fresh.
What was the phrase? The top when we were from a couple episodes ago, and the girl was like, instead of saying shirtless, she was like top naked or something.
Oh yeah, I'm top naked.
Oh, yeah.
I'm top naked.
Somebody had a really weird phrasing instead of saying that
We're topless.
I'm
it's
top
topless.
naked.
Yeah.
I'm top naked.
Oh, God.
Mom, I'm top naked. Stop.
Yeah.
I think the lesson is like, be vulnerable in front of your kids. Be naked in front of them.
I thought you were trying to tie that back to the story.
Yeah, and I was like,
when you said be naked, I was like, no.
No. Please
Because she
don't.
literally stole
There would
from
be
me.
less issues if the mom was naked in front of her son.
and they were doing something. If
No,
they
they
were
don't have to do
married,
anything. Being naked in front of them is not the same thing as doing something.
That's how CPS gets involved.
I mean, they're grown,
man.
though.
He's a grown man
Oh.
now.
You can't get CPS involved
Yeah.
when they're grown.
Yeah,
don't
never
think.
mind. I
So
thought we were
you
talking about
agree
like
with
little
me?
kids. No, I don't.
From what I'm hearing now.
if you don't
is you
vehemently
agree.
deny it, he's
No.
gonna
So
grasp.
you're
He's
agreeing
gonna
with me is
grasp
what you're
straws.
saying.
Oh, God.
All right, next
Sam
story,
is
Sam.
problematic.
Oh, no.
The son is the asshole. The mom is the asshole on that
Yes,
one.
I do agree both of
100%.
them
And she's
are.
not.
The
That
son is
fiance
more.
needs to run.
Yeah, get
Oh,
out
yeah.
of that.
Get out.
Nah. I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out. What?
Are
She
you
I'm
said
out
it.
too.
Yeah, she
said
said
I'm
it.
out.
Say it.
Yeah, I heard it. It
That was
like
an
very
inside
low
joke
key.
that they had, and all I hear is
It's not
Yvonne
an
say,
inside joke.
I'm
She's
out.
a fan of the podcast, man. That's from like
Whoa!
episode 4, man. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
We got a real fan.
The way
on
that you said that, though, I'm like, how did you know
She
to
said
say
it
that?
exactly the.
She said, I'm out.
Dude,
What? How do you know that?
I said I'm out, and then I like hear it again. I'm like, wait, you didn't say.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say. What?
All right, next story. This kind of sounds very similar to the title of the other one, but hopefully it's different. Am I the asshole for leaving in an Uber after what my husband did at a restaurant?
Oof.
I need more.
Oof. I'm gonna say you're not. I feel like he's evil. Or she could be petty. Who knows?
Okay.
I'm gonna say she's not though.
That's how you are.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say you are.
Take
Oh.
a lift.
Yeah. She should have taken a lift.
Yeah, take a lift. You are an asshole.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's all I need.
Sponsored by Lyft.
Yeah, lift sponsor.
Nah.
I mean, we already mentioned them in the beginning, but we didn't say highly anything about the
Yeah, put promo code comfort level in your Lyft app today. and get
for
$5
nothing to
off.
happen.
Nothing will happen. You'll get $0 off on your next ride. But
If anything, they'll be like, we don't recognize this code.
Then they reach out to us and like, hey, we've been noticing a lot of
can't
codes.
do this.
Give
You
us one,
can't.
and we can do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give us a code.
Just the bait.
Give
us a code.
Did you look right in the camera and say
Yeah.
that?
Give us a code.
All right. Am I the asshole for leaving in an Uber after what my husband did at the restaurant? Me, 31 female, and my husband, 35 male, have been married for 14 months. He's a middle school teacher, very close to his family, loves to help out, but can be firm at times. He adores his 1.5-year-old niece, his sister's baby. He always babysits whenever he's got nothing to do. I help with whatever I can. We haven't gotten out for a nice dinner in a while. I asked if we could go out to a new restaurant and try their food and have a good time together. He agreed, and I immediately make reservations and take care of everything. Since I couldn't take the day off, I left work early and went to meet him there at the restaurant. I walked in and saw my husband sitting and his niece in a car seat by the table. I asked, and he said his sister had to work and wanted him to watch his niece. His family were out of town, so there was no one else besides him. I noticed the restaurant staff were giving us looks since it's not a child-friendly restaurant, and I was worried the baby would cry or something. She was asleep then. We ordered our meals while he was calming his niece down because she was crying out loud. He kept asking the waitress about stuff that they don't have for his niece. I couldn't take the looks from people unable to enjoy their meals because of the noise the husband's niece was making, especially when he started singing You're Welcome from Moana movie while swinging her. I got up to the restroom. A few minutes later, I heard him arguing loudly. I went to see that he was actually trying to change his niece's diaper on the table. The waitress was arguing with him. I was in shock. The manager came out after my husband said he'd take just a minute to get it done. The manager spoke to me and asked me to leave eventually. I was livid. We left, and I blew up outside. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked a restaurant that doesn't allow infants.
Okay.
That he embarrassed me, ruined dinner, and got us kicked out. He started arguing with me like I was one of his students after I refused to get in the car, giving me a 0 out of 10 for my reaction and claiming that I picked a bad restaurant. Said that he was helping his sister and I needed to understand that. After the argument, I took an Uber and went home. He went to his sister's place and called saying I shouldn't have left like that, making him feel guilty for wanting to help, but I just didn't respond.
I mean, again, Chuck E. Cheese could have solved this. You wouldn't have that issue there.
She didn't know though, or else she would have picked Charles Cheese.
Charles E. Cheese.
Charles.
Mr. Sir Charles.
For the act, I don't know. I feel like the blow up was just out of proportion, but I understand where she was coming from. But it's like, I feel like the reaction and what like what she did, it's like you still got to go home to that eventually. Like you got to, that's a conversation. Like it's one thing to have like an argument or like blow up, but it's another thing of how you leave the argument. Like the way in which she just like blows him off, calls an Uber, goes home, doesn't respond. That causes for a different issue. But I don't know. Like, yeah. I feel like there's just more mature ways to handle it. But like at the same time too, it's like he was being crazy. Who changes a baby
At a table.
at a
I heard
table?
that. I was like, what?
Where's your home training?
Yeah, I was like, sir, you're a teacher. Why would you think that's appropriate?
That's why I think she's mad about, like, when you're in a relationship with someone and then you're just dating, you're having, like, everything's nice, and then they just do something so dumb, and you're like, that is, I'm with you. You're doing something that dumb. That's what she was like, I've been married to you for 14 months, and you just did something nice. No one would do this. No normal person would do this. And you're that dumb. She probably was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And that's why she got mad and blew up. Because I'm like, if I was dating someone and they were like, I'll just change the diaper right here in the middle of this French restaurant and be like, oh, to give it to the waiter. Here you go.
One second.
The waiter's like, mademoiselle, Sal, please stop out.
And I'm like, does he not have social skills? Seeing where he is, he's like, let me just change it right here.
Because that's embarrassing, even though that Moana song do go hard. So
Yeah,
I get that.
I was like, I do give him props for at least singing that song because that was pretty dope.
So there's an edit. I just want to say that my husband is the one who insists on taking his niece. He doesn't consider this babysitting. He loves to be with her and take care of her. He said he wants us to adopt since it's our only way of having children for medical reasons. He absolutely adores kids, so I understand his bond with his niece. But the restaurant incident was blamed on me. He thinks my reaction was over the top, and honestly, I have no idea why he thinks people should mind their own business when he's behaving like that in a public place.
Yeah, no home training.
Yeah.
No home training.
I mean, honestly, but I don't see anything that was off about his behavior apart from changing the diaper. Because, I mean, like, did he know that this restaurant wasn't kid-friendly? But also, where's the dad? Are we going to talk about that? Where's this kid's dad?
I mean, it sounds like it's just the sister, but I think the thing is, okay, if you're gonna take the baby all the time, let your wife know, like, hey, I mean, honestly, at that point, I don't know, maybe definitely communicate with her of like, hey, like, something's come up with sister and I offered to take the baby because nobody else can, like.
I mean, but with that, I would argue that did the wife, because it sounds like she made this date with intention of alone time because he's always with the niece. So did she verbalize that I want this date for only us because you're always with your niece? Because I feel like if he knew that, then he wouldn't have volunteered to babysit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't she say something along that line of like he's been watching the kid for so much that she wanted?
It says, I asked if we could go out to a new restaurant and try their food and have a good time together. He agreed, and I immediately made reservations and took care of everything. So she didn't expressively say just the two of us, you and me time. So I get what you're saying there, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the together is vague enough to be like, oh, this means open invite.
Yeah,
that wouldn't mean open invite to me. If someone said,
bring the baby.
Let's go to dinner together. You're like, you mean my best friend can come too? Let's all go.
Yeah.
But it's like, too, at the same time, like, I think what makes the matters even worse, too, is like her being like, yeah, we'll go together and stuff. It's like, they probably had like a long stream where it's just her, him, and the baby. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like as a couple, like after a while, like you kind of like feel your partner's needs in a sense. So it's like if we were in this scenario and you're like, hey, let's go do something together. Like, I don't know, let's say I'm like watching Junior a lot or something, right? And you're like, hey, let's just go do something together. I'll be like, oh yeah, it has been a while since we've actually just done something one-on-one. So it's like, I'm being considerate, and it's like, yo, like this, working on this it's not more important than the kid, but it's like that's someone else's kid.
It is low-key more important, though.
Yeah.
But I want to push back on that. I hate when people are like, well, I do think there's a level of you understanding your partner and like knowing kind of what they want, but you still need to communicate it. If
Yeah.
you don't rely on your partner reading your mind, like, well, you should feel like I feel like we're not talking. I'm like, no, tell them.
Yeah.
And then there's no excuse at all. Then it's not like, well, you should have felt it. You're like, no, I told you that I want to be with you, and then you totally ignored me and still hung out with your knees over me.
There was this video that I saw on TikTok that I personally believe was absolutely ridiculous. And it was where, I'm just telling you my bias now.
Yeah.
But it was basically where it's like this couple on YouTube, and they give like religious advice because they're like Christian couple, like talking about our relationship. And it was like, it was this guy basically being like, they wanted to talk about how they have really good communication, like how they talk through like fights and stuff. And so they used their most recent fight as an example. And their most recent fight was he had come like home like late from the airport, like 9 p.m. He gets in the house and he asks his wife, like, what did you have for dinner? And she was like, I had a sandwich. And he was like, oh, just a sandwich? And she was like, yeah, like, he was like, well, I was kind of expecting dinner when I came home. And she was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. Like, do you want me to make you a sandwich? And he was like, well, like, you know, a home-cooked meal would have been nice. And that in and of itself is annoying. But the issue was when they talked through it was he literally was like, I would just want you to kind of know how to like expect my needs, that when I'm coming home from a long day that I would want to have dinner made for me. And she was like, okay, well, can you communicate that? And he was like, I'll try my best, but I want you to be able to know what I need. And it's like, okay, first of all, the dinner thing, super annoying. But the fact that he's like, read my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He literally was like so hell-bent on it. Like he would not change his mind. So she ended up being like compromising of like, okay, well, I'll think about your needs in the future.
No.
I know, that's why it was so annoying. And then he was like, thank you. He like didn't compromise at all.
Oh my god. Well, when you put it like that, I think the point I was trying to make.
I wasn't
was,
comparing that to you.
I know, but
sorry.
Just in case it
I
just,
wasn't.
Brandon, stop thinking about Maddie. Let her tell you. Don't ever think about it. Don't ever consider her.
I wasn't comparing that to you. I was talking about Sam's point that he made.
Yeah, no, but like I was like comparing the points. I was like, it can make it seem like I was thinking that way,
no.
but I wasn't thinking that way. It's like when you have a lack of something, like a lot, like it's like, yes, the conversation's needed, but like you can also kind of feel that lack.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily I feel the lack. This is what I'm gonna do to, like there still needs to be a conversation beforehand, but it's like at least being able to identify. That's why I'm like identify that there's a lack and then communicate.
I do still think that's a skill. Like not everybody has that skill to know, to have that awareness of the relationship.
Yeah. And I also think it probably relies on how long you've been in the relationship.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, Yvonne needs to be here more often.
Yeah, she's
that was
dropping
actually a really good conversation.
Truth bombs and facts.
We tend to read the story and then talk about something completely different, and then be like, okay, next story. Okay.
Happy to help.
Yeah. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for not paying my boyfriend Uber prices for picking me up from work?
For not paying my boyfriend
What?
Uber.
prices? For not paying my boyfriend Uber prices. Wait, so the boyfriend is the Uber driver?
No, he was just picking her up from work, and he was like, you should pay me like you pay an Uber.
Oh,
that's
no, he's the
crazy.
asshole.
That's hilarious.
Well, how often is he picking her up?
There is an edit, but I'll wait to read that at the end. Okay. So.
Oh man, I feel like it'd be bad if it was like somewhere like in Texas though, and it's like there's like hour-long drives.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
But
crazy.
isn't that one of the, I don't know, benefits of being in a relationship, relying on your significant other?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, I don't know.
But it's like at the same time, there's some stuff. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I just feel like there's a difference between boyfriend and girlfriend. In my head, there's a difference between boyfriend and girlfriend, and husband and wife.
Yeah.
That like husband and wife, you in it.
You're responsible
you made
for
a
each
decision.
other.
You made a legal decision. Boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm like,
That Sam's like, you see those gas prices?
Yeah, exactly. Gas is crazy out here. I gotta take you to work every day.
You have to go to work.
Yeah,
You have
to work.
You can't work from home? God dang.
This is crazy.
This is 2022.
Everybody's on Zoom now.
She said, I work a fast food job. I have to go to work. All right. Am I the asshole for not paying my boyfriend Uber prices for picking me up from work? I'm temporarily working somewhere else. It is 20 euros to get an Uber home. I use the app often enough that I get regular discounts up to 30% off. My boyfriend offered to pick me up from work after I told him the price of the Uber sometimes. It's about a 30-minute ride, about 20 miles, and afterwards, because he went out of his way to get me, and I would have given it to an Uber driver anyway, he insists that it makes no sense for me not to pay him what I would have given the Uber driver. I told him that's different because he's my boyfriend and an Uber driver is a service. I told him that I'd give him 10 euros, which he wasn't happy about. Am I the asshole for not giving him what I would give for an Uber driver? It's not like I'd pay the prices of a Starbucks coffee if my boyfriend made me a cup of coffee.
No, that's nuts. That's different than how I saw it. Because he offered to give her a ride
Yeah.
and then asked her for money.
Yeah.
No, you're not the asshole for that.
No.
Because I was thinking she was like, you just pick me up. Like she was demanding he pick her up. But yeah, you're not the asshole for that.
Yeah, it's made it sound like he offered because it was too expensive. So then why would
Yes!
she then
Still pay me the same money that you would have spent. You're like, then why did this happen? I could have still paid the Uber driver.
Yeah.
I would have got a discount with the Uber driver. You're trying to make me pay more.
You got a discount code? Give me a code.
And I bet Reddit's like, break up with him. Like, this is a definite
This is
break.
horrible.
Yeah, that's a bad boy.
He's obviously only in it for the money.
Yeah, literally top comment, 25,000 upvotes, not the asshole, also dump him. Okay, so there's an edit at the top of the page that I didn't read because it kind of defeats the whole story. So she said, I showed him this post and made him read the comments. He apologized. This isn't something he usually does and was out of character. Thank you, everyone. There are too many replies to respond to.
the edits makes it sound like she had to show him for him to realize he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what does that mean it's not normal in his character? Like, he did it.
Yeah.
So it is his character.
That's his character because
Like,
he did it.
It's character enough.
Like,
Did
was
he have
it
a bad
joke?
day? He was like, I have a bad day, and so I want money. That's dump him. This is the first time.
Not the asshole, dump him.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm
from Sam.
never for the dumping, but I think this is a dumping.
You're dumpable.
Dump him. But also, maybe we should be like exchanging money with our boyfriend and girlfriend.
Commonwealth.
Somebody.
Exactly. Spread the wealth around.
So OP said, why is it dumping behavior? And somebody else said, if he can't just do something nice for you, but why be with him? Does he pay you if you make him food? Because he should. I mean, he'd pay a restaurant, wouldn't he? It's the same thing using his logic.
Yeah. I'm mad at the offering. That's what makes me hot.
Yeah.
Is that he offered
And
and then expected
hey.
money.
He's like, I came all the way out here to come pick you up. Can't give me 20 euros?
I think the crazy part too is because it's like, if you were like in Lincoln, and I was like, hey, I can come get you.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing for. I'd be like, yo, like yeah, like this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
A little mini road trip. I get to go all the way out to Lincoln and then come back. Don't even think about the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even even when the gas prices are crazy, wouldn't even consider it. Just like, yeah, let's do it. That's all I would think about. So the fact that he's like, yeah, I'll get you.
He explicitly asked.
Should we
for
clarify
money.
that Lincoln is an hour away?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles Lincoln is
Yes.
away.
Like
but-
45
Yeah.
miles.
No, I think like 50.
Something there. It's not an hour away.
Let me look it up.
How fast are you going?
The speed limit that it allows you.
Sam speeds. Don't.
10 miles over. Because that's what they allow you to do. That's what That's what my mom told me.
Oh, it's
to.
43 miles.
If you just don't see a trooper.
No, it's 49.
it's
Exactly.
fine.
We mobbing down there.
Hit the gas.
There's nothing to see.
52 miles actually.
There's nothing
was
to
right.
see. You see the glass church the first 10 minutes.
The glass church.
Yeah, you've never seen the glass church?
I guess I'm speeding by.
He's like, what was that blur in the...
Y'all see that?
Was that a cloud? Or...
What was that? No, in your story, I see the middle ground because I'm like, it is crazy they was like had the audacity to even ask that. But the middle ground, like most people do, is like, if he went to Lincoln to pick you up, he'd be like, yeah, it's a lot of gas. Like, that's what most people do, the passive aggressive, are like, well, it's been a lot over here, getting over here, man. Dang, my gas is lot lower than what it was before.
And I'm like,
But
oh wow, look at that
that's
glass
so
church.
like so much
Look at
audacity.
that gas.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Dang, it's like kind of touching the E a little
Yeah,
bit.
because I'm like, it was closer to the F before, and now it's like, you know.
Well, are we gonna make it home? I don't know.
No.
And I forgot my wallet.
Uh-oh.
You might have to push.
You might have to pay. Like,
But Brandon's a good boyfriend because going to Lincoln. I broke up with people who lived in Bellevue. Because I'm like, I can't do this.
Hey, but that drive to Bellevue is a road trip.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was like,
you can't do this regularly. Like, do I like you enough for this? I don't think I do.
you said nope.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not gonna work out.
and then plus they got all the cops out there just so ridiculous. Like,
And no lights. It's dark. It's just darkness over there. So they got one street light for every 100 people there.
They pull you over for going 2 over the
Yeah.
speed limit.
Yeah, they'll let the car going 90 pass by because they're like, okay. But if they can catch up to you, they're like, that son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
get him! Get him!
Book 'em, boys. Do you realize how fast you were going? I think I was going 63.
Tears running down your
Never coming to Lincoln again.
Thank you, Yvonne, for being on the show.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Yvonne.
this was a
I
lot
enjoyed
of fun.
my time.
No, I loved hearing your opinions.
Lots of thinking in this
Very
brain.
level-headed.
And we probably won't see it because Maddie's going to cut it out because you guys are friends. But that really thing that you said that would get you canceled, that was disgusting, Yvonne. I can't believe you said that.
Wait, what did I say?
He's joking.
I'm not joking. Maddie's going to cut it out so it seems like I'm talking crazy, but we all know what you said.
Well, thank you for coming to watch the latest episode of the Comfort Level Podcast. And we'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
She ripped that mic. Brandon said, oh.